when we know ourselves as spiritual beings, vast, boundless, eternal, essentially spiritual beings, it is so much easier to allow our humanity. So what do I mean by that? When we recognize ourselves as expressions of the one love that we all are, essentially, in our wholeness. When we come to recognize ourselves as that love, we find it to be unconditional love, an equanimity of grace. Grace here simply means truth. The equanimity of our truth as unwavering love. And when we come to know ourselves as that directly through our meditations and our studies and our practices, and that love is awakened and present in the background of all of our life experience, it's so much easier to allow the full range of our humanity without suffering it, without shaming it, without needing so much to fix it in order to be okay again. We know our essential okayness, our essential wholeness, as the spiritual nature of our being. So I'll give you an example. You've heard me speak endlessly, almost, it seems, recently, because it's been such a big part of my life, about the fact that I'm now living here in Bali. I'm settled in a new villa that I've created and made a sanctuary of. And it's been a lot of work. I've spent the last almost 9 months now really holding my stuff together, keeping my head above water. There's been a lot, just a tremendous amount of life activity. I'm sure you can all relate. We all have our tremendous amounts of life activity, right? And recently I've been noticing that I've been lacking some vitality. I'm not as inspired to go to some of the events and maybe go out and see friends and participate in some of these very nourishing opportunities here in Bali. And I don't have as much vitality or interest or energy. And so I started to look at that in my morning journaling. You know, why is that? And is this a problem? Am I wrong for not wanting to do that? So the first knowing was, of course, no, it's just what is. So no, I'm not wrong. But do I want to address it? Do I want to look at it and see what's going on and see if I might bring my awareness to something that wants to be healed or attended to within? Absolutely. But am I wrong for that? Should I feel shame around that? Does that need fixing? No, it just needs attention and some curiosity. So I continued journaling and looking at it, and I realized I'm exhausted. I'm burnt out. I'm depleted. And at first that was confusing because I don't live a stressful life. I don't carry emotional stress any longer. That's just not of interest to me. Things are difficult, challenging, but there really honestly is no stress that is carried around anything that occurs. Just presence, awareness, and the recognition of a difficulty or a challenge. So I live a pretty stress-free life, and yet I'm depleted, I'm exhausted, I'm burnt out. So it isn't because of stress. And I've got a beautiful practice of remembering the essential nature of being and the beauty of this love that I am, that you are, that we are, that is. The preciousness of this life. I have so much gratitude. I eat well. I sleep well. And yet I'm exhausted. I'm burnt out. How can that be? And then it became quite obvious. Oh, that's right. I'm human. I'm tired. That's just the natural effect of keeping a certain energy level up, to keep your head above water, to stay on top of things, to make sure I'm managing all the different parts of life that want to be managed, so that things don't fall into disarray. Because we all live in this life of form and situations and conditions and experiences. And I want to make sure that, in this world of form, that I'm managing the form. And there's been so much of it. I've just been going, and I'm burnt out. So I'm going on retreat. I'm giving myself a 10-day retreat to go away and not have to do anything. Not have to attend to anything except for what I want to. I cook all my own meals pretty much here, unless I go out to eat. So I have to go to the store and I have to cook meals. And then I often do the dishes. And I've got help here now that I live in Bali 3 days a week. So 3 days a week I don't have to do the dishes. But I attend to, it's a beautiful villa. It's a big villa, and there's things that need attending, and there's my life, and there's computers, and there's subscriptions, and there's customer service, and there's, all the stuff, the minutia of life. So I'm giving myself time to go away and not have to do anything. And it's going to be a little pricey, and I get to do that now. That's a part of the manifestation conversations. So to bring this home, bring this back to the whole point of this share today. When we awaken our spiritual peace and love, the spiritual dynamic of ourselves, which is peace and love and allowing and compassion, those aren't mental things. That's just the essential nature of being. We don't have to try to be compassionate. We don't have to try to be in gratitude. We don't have to try to be loving. When we awaken as that, it is so much easier then to allow the full complexity of our humanity in all the different ways that we are going to experience being a human being, an emotional, mental, physical, egoic human being. And how much more beautiful, or how much more easy it is to be with whatever is arising when we can rest in our true strength, our true power, which is peace. When we awaken our authentic peace, we awaken our authentic power. So, to allow our humanity and not shame it, not need to fix it, to be with it, to address it, but not feel diminished as a human being, as in our value and our worth and our sense of self. Not to have that ever, ever, ever be diminished because we have an aspect of our humanity that is showing up. A behavior, a conditioning, a programming, a wound response, a triggered response. To be able to be with all of that and not shame ourselves for it, but to recognize, oh, there's my humanity. That's part of why I'm here in this human journey, to meet all the parts of my soulful evolution that are still trying to come back into wholeness, into our full grace, our full truth. All right, blessings. Be well.